I whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
I whip that thing out like Michael Obama.
We already had it with
I got that
Obama.
energy.
Let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 I'm a whip the thing out like Michael Obama. I got that big energy. Ain't nobody wanna step back me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. Ain't got a clip, bitch. Hung like a llama. I whip that dick out like Michael Obama.
The super planet of places. It's so good you can taste it. Down here in the basement, with a super predator places.
The Super Predator playset comes with a shape-shifting reptilian politician, light-up severed head, jar of adrenochrome, Book of the Dead, and more. The Paranoid American playsets. Collect them all new from paranoidamerican.com.
Disclaimer. These are custom art creations and not toys meant for wimpy little new world order babies. Don't eat the art. Don't sue the artist. For more details, visit paranoidamerican.com.
In the deep they lurk, like twisted water dogs. They shadows they smirk. Down in the rivers, out in the seas. Masters of the deep, dolphin mysteries. Bottlenose freaks, short beaks in the night. Humpback shadows, pygmies out of sight. All the dolphins, you know it's true. Rolling deep in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty. Ruling the waves, Dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks. Underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, that counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those things. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. I tried giving as much as I could. They locked me up and published it.
Dolphin Illuminati. Deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's the Dolphin Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's the Dolphin Illuminati. It's the Dolphin Illuminati. Deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's the Dolphin Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's the Dolphin Illuminati. It's the Dolphin Illuminati.
Deep in the woods, what are they doing in there? Bohemian Grove, cremation of care.
The Bohemian Grove Cremation of Care playset comes with a random Grove member, light-up flaming effigy, and of course, an owl. Paranoid American playsets Collect them all at paranoidamerican.com.
Disclaimer. These are custom art creations and not toys meant for wimpy little new world order babies. Don't eat the art. Don't sue the artist. For more details, visit paranoidamerican.com.
We used to think we knew, constantly explore the view of possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, mega mystics, entertaining, calming linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secret to society. Advent on philosophies, intentionally, magically good guys. Good guys, good guys. Good guys, witches, weirdos, mischief making. It's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys, good
Why don't you just abruptly stop and I just feel like it's such it just is there's like that song that's like touch me in the morning then just walk away. That's what I feel like that song leaves me with. Like it just is like good guys. And then I'm like waiting for my cue. My mic's forced on mute, so I can't speak.
Darn it.
Hi.
I love when you serenade us, Cheney.
Yeah.
Hi, good guys and good guys chat. Welcome
Hi.
to a little later than normal Sunday night.
Yeah.
Brittany was upset about it.
Partially my fault.
We don't always
too.
have our shit together on Sundays, so sorry. y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry,
It's going to
guys.
get better and going to get more precise.
Yeah.
Everything's going to get ironed out. We're in the middle of a new season. We're about to start the new year tomorrow. It's fine.
Yes, we are.
It's the very last day of whatever calendar they want us existing on.
Yeah. Whatever timeline that they want to force upon us.
How was your Ishtar Easter?
I slept the majority of the day. I got my Ishtar period today. So yeah, I think it's synced with Ishtar.
Mine was like weird because the whole like going through the separation type thing, and like so my kids weren't with me today, which was actually kind of nice. I'm not gonna. I decided to enjoy it, and I did. So it was.
Abby, do you want to share that with our audience?
Well, oh, okay. Well, I just decided life's too short, and I'm ready to like just do my life. Do it my way. I don't want to be beholden to somebody.
I like that.
You're having a what is that? What do they call it with Gwyneth Paltrow and her and Chris Martin? They had some kind of coupling, a conscious uncoupling.
That's
Is
a
that
good
what
way
it's
to
called?
put it, really.
Huh.
Well, it sounds better than the other word that's so hefty and so
does.
finite and gets the government involved.
That's true.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know. I was like, oh, we're going to talk about this. This is a heavy topic. But if you're
May
ready
as
to-
well.
yeah.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
was like the holiday is like the day that when it really kind of gets real, because it's like, yeah, they all went over to my in-laws house, and it was like, it was good. Like, I'm glad they did. I was invited, but that's the last place in the world you want to go when you're in the middle of it all, like, no, not doing that. So
So was it
There's
at all like sad, or was it like, so this is my first Ishtar that I get to do whatever?
I didn't know how I was going to feel. And truthfully, I felt like I'm going to be okay. This is okay. Like,
of course you're going to be
it was
okay.
better than I thought, Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know that at a different time in my life, I wouldn't have felt that way.
Hmm.
But I feel like that's just where I'm at now. Like, I'm okay with, I think, because my issue is like, it's hard to be lonely when you're never alone, but you feel lonely, So it's different when you actually get to be alone. Like, I'm my own company, and that's okay. Like, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, the shit that goes on in our heads, we're kind of never alone.
Yeah.
We're just like,
Exactly. Plenty of shit to do.
This is a big, huge problem maybe that couples have a hard time growing through, or not growing through, but even talking about, is being in the same room with somebody and feeling lonely. And so there was a lot of people, like during lockdowns and stuff, that got this big experience of lonely because they didn't realize how much of their social circle, or how much of their job, or how much of these things provided to their well-being, when there's a whole bunch of people that, like, a third of their life or 2/3 of their life, because also laying in bed with someone, they're going through the motions, and the person knows like a LARP of who they are, but they're no longer that person anymore. And so they're lonely as fuck inside these relationships.
Yeah, I think it's probably more common than people talk. People don't talk about it. It's not
yeah,
something
they
you
don't. But why though? Like, why is there a shame, such a shame behind that? Like admitting that, hey, I'm alone in this marriage. I feel alone, and it's not right. Yeah, people grow, but it's about growing together, and the other person just doesn't want to grow and just stay in the past and be the same person and not change and not better themselves. It's like you're doing this whole transformation of yourself, and the person's just watching and then causing chaos, And that's just not a way to live life either.
I just think that, things get stagnant when I don't know, I'm on a path of wanting to grow. I do want to grow. I want to evolve. I don't ever want to be the same person. I want to look back at the person I was 6 months ago and be like, Psh, that bitch, so glad I'm not her anymore. Like, I'm so glad I am where I am now. And I feel that way all the time, but I just feel like not everybody's on the same journey.
Yeah.
You think
And
I agree.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just don't think that, we're taught the whole happily ever after with someone. And what if, like, happily ever after is not with somebody? I think that's okay too.
Well, I've been single for 9 years, and I love being single. I love being able to like do what I want to do. And that doesn't mean sleeping around or any of that. I practice celibacy. It's about like a calmness in your head, a calmness in your heart, a calmness in your soul. It's like, I don't want to sound selfish, but I am selfish in that way. Like, it'll take a very special somebody to like lock me down and tame this, like all of it. So,
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
I also think I always think of relationships as like a potted plant. And sometimes you can put two plants together and they flourish inside the pot together. And sometimes one plant like takes too much of the nutrients, or takes too much of the light, or takes too much of the, like something happens where the other plant gets suffocated out of the pot. But sometimes they grow together for a really long time, like a really long time, and they both become dreamy fucking plants, but they need to be repotted. And it's just, it doesn't mean it was a failure. I think so often in life we look at like walking away from that thing means that, like, one person stopped growing. but sometimes you just grow in separate
You grow in
directions.
different directions.
And
That's all it is.
sometimes it feels like you're growing in separate directions, and it's like any vine. If you watch it in slow motion, it starts poking out, but then it twists back together, and then it starts poking out and twists back together. And that is the hard part of a relationship, is like, are we going to decide to grow back together? But a hard thing is when the person, and it's not either, when you're growing in separate directions and you're no longer leveling each other up in those directions, and you're keeping each other stagnant in those directions, you're both showing up half happy every day. Like you're
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
found comfort over something different.
Someone said modern women energy. It's not even modern women energy. It's when you get older, you see things in a different light. For me, I was the very submissive Albanian, quiet, yes, obey, do, cook, clean, all of that. But when you're told you're stupid, you don't know shit, I don't look at you as a human being. I don't look at you like you have a mind of your own, but something to control and stay there and sit like a pretty little princess robot. That's not living, like I love the idea of women standing in their power and their control, because we are living beings. We have a soul, we have a mind, just like men do. And this idea that men control everything and if she doesn't listen to me, it's like, what the fuck is that? That's like so barbaric and so backwards.
And I honestly have to say, out of the three of us in the room, I really believe, Layla, like, for the right man, you'd be the most submissive out of the three of us to your man.
Absolutely.
Like, you've
Absolutely.
been brought up in a way that you like, a man is your king if the man treats you so for someone to say that you're modern woman, like, you're modern woman from a culture that needed some modernization. I
Yeah.
am an old-fashioned lesbian that's I'm trying to grow with my partner again in this long relationship. We've been together almost 20 years. 20 years. That's old-fashioned as fuck. I don't know any straight couple that has a relationship as long as mine. So it's
Yeah.
just like, I'm old-fashioned as fuck. I'm an old-fashioned American lesbian. I'm just trying to figure this thing out and keep my wife happy and then grow myself. And then sometimes, like, shit, I wish I was modern. Like, I usually get yelled at for how conservative I am with most of my friends.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
feel like Abby is the mother of 5 who on paper has done everything conservative that you can fucking think of. She's been in a relationship forever. She's worked the job forever. She even has the job that's like, oh, these are all the jobs you do for all the mom things. And it's like,
It's
geez,
like it's like they
someone
have
comes
this
to listen to
idea.
5 seconds and be like, typical modern women. Look at, oh, we're just watching Call Her Daddy again.
well, and I did the whole submissive wife thing. I did that. Like, I was raised by a women's liver, but then
Like, stick around for a minute, pal.
yeah, I was married to 9 years, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I cooked everything from scratch. I was the woman who, like, you submit to the man's lead and all of that. And I'll tell you what, that's ripe for abuse by a narcissist. I just gotta say that. So it's like, I've become a whole different person. So in this marriage, I've been an
But
asshole. I won't say otherwise. I won't say that
yeah.
I haven't been, but I just feel like there's certain things I will no longer compromise on because of, I've been taken advantage of in the past. So
Yeah, I feel like
yeah,
they think that women should just, it's like a duty for women to lose themselves. It's like, oh, it's
yeah,
okay. She's a woman. Like, oh, she could lose herself because that's just how it is. Women are responsible for But, it's like, no, we are living entities. We're breathing, we're thinking, we're feeling just like everybody else on this fucking planet. So it's like they put this idea on a woman, like, give. Like, they give so much to their families, to their loved ones. I still give to my family. Like, and I don't have my own, So it's like, we give, but we shouldn't lose ourselves because we are women. That's not our
yeah,
role to lose ourselves. It's to grow and flourish like a beautiful flower until, one day that flower has no longer a lifespan, and that's it. So that's my thought on that. Mm.
yeah. in my last marriage, that's like when I finally was ready to be divorced and everything, and that came up. I was pissed for a long time, and he had cheated on me with like a 16-year-old, but that was just one of many like affairs that he had had. But I wasn't mad about that. I was mad because I had totally changed who I was to be what he wanted me to be, and it's funny because it wasn't ever enough, and I became somebody who I didn't like anymore. Like, I was so mad at myself. I had to relearn what music I liked. I had to relearn the things that I liked and the things that made me happy. And so I was pissed about that. And it's funny how, I think a lot of people do lose themselves in a relationship. You compromise, and compromise is good, but you shouldn't compromise who you are for somebody else.
Absolutely. I agree. I feel like I suffocate when I get into a relationship like that and I'm not allowed to be who I am. It's like this, I feel it within my body. It's like, oh, like a sickness that grows within you. And it's just like, this ain't right. It's not
Do
right.
you have any advice, Abby, for moms and dads out there that are going through this spiritual journey and they have kids and maybe they're single parents, maybe they're married, but do you have any advice? And this could maybe be advice that Layla needs because she is in a house with a lot of people as well. Where can people find this kind of, how do they even begin this journey, or like they're in this journey already? How do you make your space? Like, where do you even begin to have
Without
your
feeling
space?
guilty.
Yeah, like
Good luck with that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that took me a long time because I felt like I just didn't have shit. I couldn't even go to the bathroom without somebody pounding on the door. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, you could lock the door." No, you can't lock the door because if you lock the door, then they're pounding on the door the whole time. So it's better off to like just leave the door unlocked. But there comes a time when I don't know. It took me a long time, but you just do have to carve out the time. And if the people don't like it around you, that's tough because how much do you do for them? How much do you constantly do for everyone else? I would say that my service to others is quite a bit, but I don't know. I guess just in the past couple of years, I realized that it's important to have me time as well. And that's what the gym became for me. It was my time out of the house where I didn't have to be the mom. I didn't have to be the wife. I didn't have to do anything work related, and it was healthy. It was a healthy habit, and then it became a goal. Then I was like, "Oh, okay, well, since I'm here already, let's do something. What can I do with this?" And it became the time that I don't compromise with. If somebody wants to go to the gym with me, fine, but I'm not going to babysit you the whole time. I'm not going to entertain you, and I'm not leaving when you want to leave. I'm going to leave when I'm done. So I don't know. You have to do it.
it
You
was
just
like the
have to make
first
sure.
place in your life that you made yourself set boundaries.
Yeah.
I think this is like the first step for people out there. You have to set a boundary, and it might be with the people you love. I think you're going to find that most of the boundaries that you're setting that are healthy for you are with the people that you love the most.
Yep.
And the people that you love the most are going to buck the hardest when you say, I don't like that anymore. Or, I need my own time. And if you have 5 kids like Abby and a husband, you at least have to give yourself 1/8 of your fucking day that's not sleep. And
Yeah.
so if you have a mother and a father and a brother and a sister that you're also taking care of, you have to give yourself at least 1/5 of your day that isn't feeding everybody else and cleaning for them, Layla.
And don't even count the shower because that hardly
It
counts,
doesn't
like,
count.
that's just self-care. That's
Driving
not
and you're showering is not meditation, everyone. You're allowed to go sit at the beach, and you're allowed to go to the gym, and you're allowed to read, and you're allowed to pick a half hour. Start with a half hour. This is why meditation is important. If you can't give yourself a half hour to read, if you can't give yourself a half hour to sit on a bench, feed the ducks, go ride a bike, that's just your time.
just go on a walk.
You're doing something completely wrong. Like completely wrong. You're spreading yourself so thin that you're not showing up as your true self for anyone that you love. And I think it's so important that one, for the other parent, if there's 2 parents involved, to really get the time to not have you hover over them. Sometimes I feel
Yeah.
like moms are micromanagers, and yeah, you might do it that way, but he does it different. Let him do it. Let sometimes your sister do it, or let sometimes your mom do it. It all might be different than the way you fucking do it. Let Aunt Cheney take them to the pool. Don't worry. She's going to die for them too that day. Nobody
Yeah.
wants your children to die when they have them. I feel like there's so many moms that are like hovering parents now that it's
I
like,
know.
it's okay. But they do it to the dad. I watch it all the time. And I'm like, he's fine. The kid's roughhousing in the backyard. Little boys need a roughhouse sometimes. Like they need to be
Yeah.
like tossed around and jostled and do this kind of like I watch these hovering moms or these like bubble wrap moms. I'm like, let him dad. Like
Yeah,
stop
don't
teaching him how
undermine
to
his
dad.
parenting. Let him do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And kudos to dads too, because there are dads that are in the same situation that women go through that some women are not so nice and,
Cold,
yeah,
withholding
cold.
sex.
Yeah, and they just do terrible things to these men, and like they do such a good job at being a father, being a husband, and they find the nice guy who does everything for them and they just shit on them. I'm like, yo, you have gold in your hands and you're treating him like garbage. Oh, but they like that. He likes that. That's why he's with me. I'm like, does he really like that? And then they wonder why the male suicide rate is so high. And it's usually these really, really good guys who have great hearts, who are trying so hard to have the best family ever. And then there's these women who just shit on them. And I'm like, go fuck yourselves too. Like, honestly. So, yeah, it's like a two ways on here in today's realm.
Yeah. People could show up better for each other. But communication's key. And it's like even this kind of stuff to be able to talk to your friends and we're at this place now where, you're even like, okay, be gaslit, go back to your life. Like COVID never happened. Bridges aren't being hit by barges every other day. Chinese weather balloons, this and, presidential fake. I don't know. It just seems like chaos. And we're all being gaslit when you're like, I don't care. And people are like, what? You don't care?
You know
Or
what it is?
it's, yeah, go.
Besa. It's like that word you give to somebody. It's like people don't have their word anymore. It's like they're getting married to get married nowadays. They're getting married. Oh, let me have that wedding because she had that wedding. Or men just settling because they think it's time to get married, but not trying to find the right person for them. I think that's what's going on here in modern day dating. It's like they're not dating for the right reasons. They're going after something that they think that might make them happen, but you got to find a soul partner who understands this world the way you do. And I think that's where the missing piece of the puzzle is. People are not finding their true person, and they're doing things just because.
How many people are LARPing though? And so these people, like these young people, that's all they've seen. That's all they've seen their whole life. So that's their model. And that's what
true.
I kind of feel like now in my own situation, like, am I doing my kids a service? They don't ever see us fight. Like we get along really good, they don't, but I don't know. Is it healthy? And is that being a good role model for them? Like to see that it's not necessarily the way that things should work. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like for me, I had never seen my parents have like an emotional connection, that lovey-dovey connection. Like it was like taboo to kiss your wife in front of your kids. Like, don't do that. And I'm just like, why is that not allowed? Like growing up, not seeing it. And when I see other Albanian couples and they're lovey-dovey, and I look at my parents, I'm like, why were they not like that? So it's all, I guess, how you're raised. And like you're saying,
were your parents arranged marriage?
Yeah, they were. I think that's a big part of why it was hard for them to like be affectionate in that way, because it wasn't like genuine from the beginning. It was like a forced thing and they had to learn and grow with each other. But it was hard.
And then also I imagine too, even if it's authentically 100% there now, because everybody's waiting for it to be there back when, like everyone's watching you guys every second, like an arranged marriage, up they're kissing, up they're holding hands, that it just seems like, oh my gosh, like it would be too much attention, that they might be really lucky behind closed doors, but they're like, who needs the attention out there? Because at the beginning, it seems like in an Albanian relationship, if there's a lot of arranged marriages, that everybody kind of might be like that in a weird way. Like,
Yeah.
look at Layla walking with her man.
Oh my God, they're holding hands. Holy shit.
It's happening. It seems extra.
When I was arranged engaged, it was like that. It's like, oh, look at the new couple. They're going out. And I'm like, and like, I could give two shits. I don't fucking like this guy. It's
I
just like a
kind of
weird.
the
Ugh.
way I would relate is that I've only really dated my friends. Like I think I've been on like a date maybe like 3 times. Usually it's just like we're hanging out, and then we're hanging out. But then that same thing happens where all of a sudden you're hanging out with your group of friends and you've been hanging out with them all the time for a year, and now me and somebody else are hooking up, and it's like, oh, they're holding me.
I don't know. It's so weird. Relationships are weird. Like, I think the
They
whole
are
construct.
weird. It's just a
Yeah.
build up, and then you're like, I want to kiss that person on the mouth.
Or maybe like the expectations of what they created in the Matrix. Let's say it's like, oh, when you get married, you go to school, you finish college, you have to get engaged, then get married, and then and have kids, and it's like, oh, what happens after that? It's like set rules, but there shouldn't be rules. There shouldn't be a time like when, oh, I'm 24, I need to get married and have. Who said? Like, why are you putting this pressure on yourself when you can just genuinely find the person that is for you? So it's like it's a set expectations in a whole broader society, and if you don't meet them, oh, you're what? How old? And you're not married? Oh God, you're damaged goods. You're not even high value anymore. You're just low. It's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? We're all humans. We all have value. We all go through life, and that's what life is about. But I don't know. I think the set expectations is what sets everyone up for failure in a way.
I think you're right, but like that's where I tell my kids different. That just because of my own past mistakes, right? So my whole thing is wait to get married. Don't get married just because you don't get married. If you get pregnant or you get somebody pregnant, that's not a reason to get married. But also wait. You shouldn't be pressured to like date somebody for at least 2 years. And then I say, then if you want to get married, fine. But then you be married another 2 years. Don't have a baby right away. Because the second you have a baby, it changes the whole dynamic of the relationship. So I feel like, I don't know. My kids don't have any kind of
I feel like
pressure. And I'm kind of glad about that.
changes it. Everything. And this is
It
like
does.
my naive
Marriage changes
fairy
it.
tale brain that like I love butterflies. I love butterflies in my stomach. I love like feeling corny around someone and like mincing my words because they make me nervous, and not wanting to make eye contact with them because I'm like all like beside
Oh my God, I'm
myself.
gonna gush.
Yeah, and then you're talking to him and I'm like, oh my fuck, I'm so sweaty right now. And then like and then like you first hold hands with them or touch, and how long that lasts until you're kissing them, and how long that can last. And then it's like every single stage changes things and takes the butterflies off the earlier things. And
Why?
I like seriously sometimes still looking at jewels across the room and like being like, that's my girl.
Cut off.
And get oh, did
Or
I?
did I cut off?
I heard it all. That's what matters. Just teasing.
I can't hear shit. I'm gonna try and
Did
fix
you
it.
unplug?
Don't know what's going on.
All right, see you in a second. Yeah, I like that kind of idea of like there's still a person out there, but I don't think the idea of somebody being out there for your whole journey makes you a failure because you and somebody made it through such a good chunk of your journey together. I think so
Yeah.
many people look at the end. I think what makes you a failure is if every single person that you ever had a relationship before hates you.
Okay.
If every
Yeah.
person that you've ever had a relationship before thinks you're an asshole, then you legitimately are an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, they can't all be wrong.
Yeah, and so, like, if you're actually, like, copacetic and friends with some of the people that you have been with, or that you even think they're awesome people that you're like, "Oh, they're family to me," or I'm so lucky that they're my baby daddy or baby mama." I just feel like that is a win. If somebody becomes your friend in life, that's a win.
It is.
Do you think the trick is, this is controversial, but do you think the trick or the trick is like not actually living under the same roof, but two people having separate roofs and like, you know,
I
connecting?
swear, I feel like that's the best idea ever.
I
Not cohabitating.
swear.
Like, I would love to be in a long-term relationship. Like ideally, like I don't want to be in a relationship. Don't get me wrong. But if I
Yeah.
was, I would want to be in a long-term relationship. It could be totally monogamous, but like you have your house and I have my house, and we can
Yeah.
have sleepovers if we want to. But I could also tell you to go home for the night. Like,
Yeah.
I like
I
that
feel
idea.
like there's a magic to that. Like, I
I
don't know
do
how to
too.
explain it, but it's like, oh, I like for a guy, for instance, like, oh man, I miss my baby, I miss my kids. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna go over our house for a little bit. And it's like, oh babe, instead of seeing each other all the fucking time, it's like, don't y'all go crazy? Or maybe the clingy people like that, like being in the
Do
same
you
roof
think
all the
that's a little kind of where it's a little Mormon, where all the wives, they like, you have each other
Yeah.
there to help raise each other's kids. They have each other there to help cook meals, and then they have 1/3, 1/4 of the week with the husband, which is they're
dude?
good.
Yeah, I think I
I
could totally
mean,
get behind it if I wasn't like 14 having to marry like a 60-year-old. But
yeah.
yeah,
Like, if it was a hunky guy that you were like, "We think he is a walking sperm bank."
yep. It's my night, ladies.
See, this
I
is
don't
why I
think
feel like I'd be the best first wife ever for the right dude, because I would be like, y'all bitches can have my time. But on my time, y'all wouldn't know this. You'd be like, because I'd be the only one allowed in the man cave, and you just think crazy shit was happening in there because we'd be screaming at each other, but really we'd be watching fights and playing video games.
yeah. It's like like the man has his crib, he has his oasis, and it's like, babe, my house is a mess. You mind coming over cleaning it up? And like you clean each other up for a minute and then you do the thing and then you go back home and the woman's not doing anything nefarious because she's dedicated only to you, if you find that woman. I think that would work. Like literally, and more for the man, I think. Because I think a man really needs a space and they don't realize that sometimes. Truly feel like a man does need his space in that sense, like to be his man, have his things,
Really what it is like, this is for real. This is from my man brain.
Mhm.
I like my space, but I would be fine if my space was in other parts of my house. It's that any of my stuff that's left in any other part of my house, I have to hear about it. I only have one, like, through 2.5 foot by 6 foot area that I'm allowed to leave things, called my desk, that if they're left there, that's the only place I don't have to hear about it. Sometimes I just want to leave stuff in other places that it's fine there for 16 hours. It's fine there for 6 hours, but it's not like most of it. I feel like a lady needs her own space. My mom always said this. This is my mother, straight as the day is long, straightest lady. She's like, I can never understand, like, everything about a lesbian relationship I get, but I could never live with another woman. She's like, I don't want a woman in my house. I don't want a woman to help me decorate. I don't want a woman's opinion on my food or where I place my. She's like, men have no opinion with that stuff. They're fine. Like,
Okay, then I'm like a dude like that because I don't care about any of that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
I
somebody
don't
else doing
care
all
ladies
that
keep
for
either.
me.
everything in a place. Like, the pillows have a place, and there's folded couch blankets in a place, and like, it's everything's in a place all the time. Like, sometimes I just am like, what if this was in another place? But this is another thing. This is my dude brain, because I feel like my father when I'm saying this. If it's the tools, That doesn't need a place. That you could stick in your I don't know, put the screwdriver, just toss it under the refrigerator. If you borrow the hammer, why don't you just leave it in the back of the car? If you have the axe, who knows? Just leave it out in the corner of the yard. For whatever reason, my wife knows where everything's at and keeps it so organized, but if she takes the tool, I don't even know where it goes. She doesn't even know where it goes. I feel like ladies have zero give a fuck about tools, and I'm like, where's the, like I'll be like, where's the Phillips head screwdriver? Something simple. My wife's like, she'll bring me 10 screwdrivers, and I'm like, where's the screwdriver that has all the interchangeable heads? Like, it comes in a little kit, has a little handle, so it's ratchet style. Where's that? I know she knows. Like, she knows she had it last, and then she'll, like, in her head, she's probably like, oops, I took that to Layla's because we were putting together a lawn chair, and I have no idea what happened to it after that.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
see, I'm like
yeah.
the opposite of that too. Because the tools here were my tools, and I always kept them in the right place. They're freaking in my tool bag. I knew where everything was, and then they suddenly became his tools, and so then I'll be like, "Where's my fucking drill? Where's my drill bits?" Like, oh, I don't know. Like, what the fuck? That's not where they go. Like, I know where my shit is, so I can use it when I need to use it. So yeah, no, but my job, I use tools too. So my tools at
there are
work are all
men.
in the right spot.
There are men who are, and I don't want to say like women, but who like things to be in their spot and clean and detailed. And I met, a couple of men who are like that, and I appreciated that. I'm like, oh my God, he has a place for fucking everything. Like, everything. I was like, this is a rarity to see, but I appreciated it. But there are men, very few, but there are men who are like that. And I
I
like
think
that.
organized, I think
Yeah.
it's good, masculine or feminine. It's the
Uh-huh.
lack of care that seems to go. There are certain things around the house that are required for outside or jobs that necessarily aren't women in my life, that they just have a lack of care about the things. We have 47 spatulas. Like, if you tell me any kitchen utensil, we have 147 of each of those things. He knows where every one of them is, even the Christmas one. Because no matter the utensil, we have a holiday version of that utensil. I don't have a Christmas hammer. I don't have my Halloween
Yeah.
hammer I pull out. I'll get so
Yeah.
angry. I'll even get her a little toolkit for her car that's like, look at this little purple handle toolkit. Because she is not going to go banging anything heavy if she ever needs it. I'm just like, this is for you, girl. The purple handle toolkit is yours. If I ever, I'll be like, the only tool I can find is that purple hammer. And it's like little, it's cheap metal. And I'm just like, begrudging.
Hey,
Like,
let's make a checker pattern little toolkit.
I
We
think
can do that.
Ssgg toolkit
I
for
love
your
it.
car.
I love it. Sorry, that
You
was a
know,
little
guys, I'm just talking out of my
personal
ass. I'm
venting.
saying it would be nice to like maybe have separate like spaces. I'm just talking. I don't know. You know what I want most? I want most for someone, how I have my word, for you to keep your word. Like, don't bullshit. Just be real. Be honest. Let me allow me to be my feminine, so I don't have to be so fucking masculine, because all I've been is fucking masculine all my life. Just one person to be able to like, babe, I got you. Don't worry, I will ride for you. You are my queen. I'm your king. That's it. Like, if I could just have that instead of bullshit, like, oh, I like you one day and then reel back. Once that happens, I cut the line. You want to reel in, reel out? No, I'm just going to cut the line. Like, I don't want bullshit. I want someone who keeps their fucking word. Be real, be honest, be true. That's the best gift that I could ask for. Like, be
With
true to
every,
yourself. Yeah.
like, if I hire you, if we're friends, if we're fucking, like, whatever the thing is, I just want you to, like, I don't care, just be authentic, even if we're not friends. Like, be real.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be real. Okay.
Man, my dad's best friend, I'm not going to say his name, but anyway, people hate him but love him at the same time, because of his honesty, his brutal honesty, and they talk all this shit, but they can't help talk that shit because they are not that, but they still love him for his fucking honesty and respect him for his real blunt honesty. And that's what I like. Like, they'll hate you for it, but there'll be people who will appreciate you for that. And I appreciate a real motherfucker. Like, I could tell when someone's like, bullshit. You bullshit, it's like you're not even a man. Even for a woman, you bullshit, you're not a man or a woman. Like, just be real, you know? That's what I like. It's
I'll have to be real for a second at the 45-minute mark. You guys, if you want to hit the like and subscribe and tell a friend or hit the bell, that we're going live on Friday nights at midnight or Sundays, and then we will have a show during the week once we get it all ironed out. But we love hanging out with you and want to also shout that out. I want to derail for a second because we both kind of have had busy weekends since we were last on air, and you went to your sister's work.
Oh my god. I don't know if you saw the video. I sent it in the group if you want to play it or whatever.
I totally will, but I want to hear you tell it first because I haven't seen it.
So I go to my sister's job and it's probably like 12 o'clock and she's like, yeah, Floyd and his group is coming and they're going to throw a fire show. I'm like, okay, cool. So this girl takes out her rope flame thing and she starts twirling it and I'm recording. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be so dope. And it was so dope. The fact that she caught on fire. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
But holy motherfucking shit. All of a sudden I see her twirling this thing and her hair catches on fire and like her face ignites. And I'm about like, you could hear me recording it. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, woo. And I'm like, oh fuck. I turned the camera off because I'm about to go jump on this bitch. But she ended up going
You're
to
a real one though.
Yo, that was fucking nuts. Like to see a person like light up on fire. It's like your heart drops to your ass and your asshole squeezes. Like it tightens up and you're like, oh my God.
You're in your root chakra.
I'm going to show the video real quick. I don't know if it'll open over us or what. So let me see how this goes. I don't want this sound because it's cool.
Well, you guys have to hear my reaction.
Okay. Oh shit.
I mean,
I'm sorry to laugh.
Sorry, I am too.
Your ass is on fire right
so
there.
Sorry. You just sounded like Summer to me, and I pictured Summer doing the same thing, like oof. But here's the other thing too that I just think is a real one. You know how many fucking assholes out there that would just keep recording? But you're a real one with Besa that another human was on fire, and your first is like, oh, she's on fire. You put your camera down.
It took me a second.
Yeah,
it took me a
you're like,
second because I thought she was going to turn it off, you know? Like,
stop
dropping it off.
Stop dropping
But
it
it ignited. And then she goes in the bathroom. The whole bathroom smells like fucking burnt hair. Like her eyebrows are burnt off, her eyelashes, part of her hair up here.
Damn.
And then she walks out and she's like, oh, I guess I'm a walking human candle tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right here.
Oh.
I was
She
got
that
Phoenix,
juice on
man,
her.
rise from the ashes.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I am. Yeah, that is.
There's something weird.
Something weird. It makes my heart do something for her.
Y'all, it's a different feeling when you see someone like catch on fire in front of you. It's
Well,
like
that's fast.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But she's all right though. She's good. Like she picked up her twirling kit and started doing some more stuff, but now with the rope. But I was like, I'm not recording this because that's some kind of magic that was happening. Someone like gave her the evil eye or something.
She might want to rethink her wardrobe.
Yeah.
She might have just spilled some of that liquid on her, you know, like out of it when she was twirling. And then when she brushed it off herself, it like she got it on herself, like spread it.
Something. Yeah. Or maybe she
'Cause
had
it
it in
looked
her
like it
mouth
burned out.
because they
Oh, and
do
she was
carry
gonna
some in
blow
her
out
mouth.
at the end, like, and then
Yeah.
when she went to like, "Oh shit," then it poured out of her mouth, and then it went,
Yeah. What? Oh my God. I didn't even ask her if it went in her mouth.
oh my gosh, you should you know what you should have asked her in the bathroom? If she ever lit her fart on fire.
She probably did.
Well,
I
it's
mean, she
the
plays
video is
with
frozen
fire.
on my end for a second, and it looked like she had a fire coming in her ass, and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Uh-huh. Oh my
Oh my
God.
goodness.
That's crazy.
That's something. I went yesterday to a little north of Orlando
What do you
to
hear?
hang out with Sam Tripoli and Paranoid American and One on One and Nephilim Death Squad. And yeah, it was super awesome. It was like a really good time. Sam was super gracious, and seeing the podcast set up at the beginning of it, um, that's more my vibe. I would rather go watch a podcast over a comedy show at this point. But so it was fun, and I think most people, they want to be around like-minded people and ask questions and just have a big convo, and that's kind of what it was. Paranoid American, Jules and I ran his merch table the whole time, and it was
Nice.
pretty awesome. Like, just seeing everybody come up and be so excited, and see my friends, like, really get to observe my friends getting treated the way I think they all are. Like, so I
Yeah.
got to see all my friends where people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're Thomas? Will you sign this for me? Like, you're Paranoid American?" I had two people come up to me at separate times. One of them carried on a long small talk conversation with me that I'm like, "What is this guy want? I'm just trying to smoke a joint." And I could tell he was like, "I really like your stuff, you know. I haven't really watched any of Project Cheney season 1." And I was like, "Oh, there's nothing to really watch. It was audio only, and you know, it's just YouTube now and whatever." And we were just having it, but it was just like a weird convo. And then he goes, "So is Layla here?"
Is that what really happened?
That was
Wow. Yay.
someone came up that's so awesome, and so I'm going to shout him out this episode and on Friday night. And he came up to me, and I feel like it was loud in there, and I wanted to hang out with him. And we only got to talk for a couple of minutes, and he was so rad. And I think he flew in from Pennsylvania, and he gave me an Apollo 13 patch.
Oh,
Oh, that's
cool.
badass.
Yeah, because you know Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
So he told me his handle, and I just couldn't hear it over everything going on. So if you gave me the Apollo 13 patch, shout yourself out in the chat or connect to me on some social media or something. It was so rad, and I want to send you something. And somebody also, here's another funny moment when I was working at the table with Jules, and you know, I have my hands on her, and we're chatting and stuff, and we're doing sales girl whatever, and someone comes up and says, "Is that Project Cheney?" And Jules is like, "In the flesh." And they go, "Oh my gosh, are you Maria?"
Oh my God. Oh wow. How do they not know how my Maria looks at this point?
Bro, the whole conversation, because even Paranoid American and Donut were like, "What?" I think Donut her. I think he was. And on the way home, Jules is like, "Gosh, everyone just think you are like so in either a confident relationship that you just are like, oh, I let my girl hook up with whoever she wants and go to the Grand Canyon, and I like to hear about it in front of a whole bunch of other people." Or that I'm like a cuck. And then we were trying to think that maybe people that don't know my Maria, and they only see the thing at the bottom, or they hear me say my Maria, they don't know her handle is my Maria 777. So they think I'm calling her my Maria.
My Maria. My
Yeah, I
girl.
mean, yeah. I could see how they
So
could take it that way, yeah.
But I got to also meet Donut in the flesh,
Uh-huh.
IRL.
Donut.
Yeah, he is super awesome. And I have this that I haven't opened yet because I want to do a proper unboxing of it.
Oh, nice. I want to see
Donut
what
and
you
Dolphin
Chan on it.
Illuminati.
Yeah, Dolphin Illuminati. We all had a little stage time, a little chit chat. Juan did some stand up. I left before then. I just think I'm bad luck for people stand up. The Nephilim Death Squad is super funny. I can't wait to hang out with them again. And yeah, it was super fun. I can't wait to do it with everyone and have a little more notice preparation, and so we can all hang out and have like a.
Yeah, I want to go to the next one if there's like one coming up because I really.
It was fun, and I want it to be longer. I want there to be like so places we can all stay around there. So if we all want to hang out, like
a 2
an
or 3
event.
day thing.
Yeah, at least 2 days, even if it's a campground in a hotel or something. But the joke
Are
joint
we
where
gonna
it
have a
was held,
conspiracy convention
yeah, I think it kind of should be.
or
This one
podcasting convention?
kind of was like the first little mini one. But the place where it was held at the joke joint, shout out to the joke joint, and it's a little north of Orlando. It is kind of off the beaten path, but it is smoke friendly in Florida. And the owner, like, I was like at one point, shit, I brought one of the, I have all my joints like single packs, and I brought one of the single packs empty of a joint. So my last joint of the night, when I was like, oh, I'm going to go outside and smoke my joint, chit chat with everyone, say, goodbye who I need to, because I was like, I'm going to do an Irish goodbye. I'm going to do an Irish goodbye. So I'm like, I had no joint. And the owner came over and he just passed out joints like out of a cigarette pack.
Oh, dope.
Oh, period.
Dope. Yeah. And it's joke joint, like joints in the logo. So it was
Ah.
like the whole outside, they have like an inside area, and then the outside is like an outside smoking it. Like so people can just watch comedy and smoke. The whole comedy show takes place outside.
Oh,
So
nice.
it was pretty dope. And I think it's definitely an interesting spot to maybe hold future events. And we just have to figure out accommodations closer. There is like a town that's like 25 minutes as the bird flies away, but you guys know Orlando. We stayed in a house off the beaten path, and it was not
It was not. Yeah.
no, we couldn't find anything. It wasn't bad, but we couldn't find anything to eat just at whim. We couldn't, there was no like place to
Chinese
go. It was
food.
like our house in the middle of nowhere.
I gotta
Gotta make
interrupt for a
sure I have my
second because
Chinese food.
Dreamers in the chat. Dreamers in the
Jay
chat just said
Dreamers.
Indian donut name is Bear Claw.
Wait, what? My Indian donut name is Bear Claw.
That's like camel toe.
That's clever.
Awesome. So yeah, it was really cool. I have pictures and video and stuff and everything, but everyone was real great, and it was just nice to be around good people and fun people.
When you were up on stage, what were you talking about? Because I saw you on stage with the group.
Because I was up there with Donut and Juan. I don't even know how I did talk about Michael Jackson for a second. I always have to Michael somewhere. But I got in talking to Bach Saga.
Ah.
I didn't even want a Bach Saga. But then I will say one funny thing about the Bach Saga is I was like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme of cum. And it's like, the king ends up drinking the cum, the queen ends up drinking the squirt, and then they have sex and they have a baby. And somebody in the audience says, it's piss. And I said, you saying that lets me know you never brought a woman to that conclusion. And that was like, drop mic. The audience was like,
that's what I always thought. Like, it's pee, until you find out it's not.
And until you find out. And
oh, okay. Now I know. Some Little Mermaid magic. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes, and you go right to Aladdin. You go so Little Mermaid, you go right to Aladdin.
That was Aladdin. Shit, I knew something was wrong there.
Yeah, she jumped right out of the water onto a magic carpet.
That's so funny.
She's like, I
Wait,
always thought
it's-
it was piss until then I wasn't the Little Mermaid anymore, and I was on the magic carpet.
You know, it's as long as they know what to do with the carpet to make
I'm
it
so glad you
magic.
said something about the chat, Abby. I have not. I've been neglectful, and I have to open
The
it
chat
up.
is on fire. I
Oh
love
my
you,
gosh.
chat.
I
I
have
love
to
you
open
all.
it up. Do a little bit of that. Put some absinthe in the room. See what's going on in the chat today. Dr. Longo's awesome. I think if we did an Atlantic show, an Atlantic Seaboard show, he'd be more likely to be there too. And I will, yeah, there's like a couple little things, you know, just because I'm such a manager and such a little wedding planner that I'm like, there's a couple little things. And for the bros, they were like, this is perfect. We can all sleep in our cars. But I'm like, do you guys want girls to come to this? Like, we need some accommodates. Like, I'm not even
Yeah.
a bougie girl, but I'm like, if I bring my wife out here, she is
I
not
need a
staying at Best
shower.
Western.
Yeah, I need a shower. No bed bugs in the beds, you know, like none of that nasty shit. It's got to be, you know, manageable.
So yeah, I drove back from there last night, and then I worked at the dispensary today for Easter Sunday. Have to make sure that the people have their medication.
Isn't it very interesting how this is all lining up? Like
It's too
biblically.
interesting.
Yeah, that's why I say it's like I feel like they planned this all out with the astrology and the stars beforehand because they knew that this time was going to come. So it's like, hey, how do we use God against everybody? And yeah, that's what I feel like they're doing. Some might not see it that way,
I feel
but
like
I
it's what they've
think,
always done. Damn.
yeah, it's like, what better way to pull on humanity's heartstrings when there's over 5 billion people who believe in all these scriptures, the Abrahamic scriptures of all three parties or four parties, or I don't know how many they are. It's like, oh yeah, Jesus is coming. Oh no, the Antichrist is coming. Oh, so that means Jesus is coming. So all three religions are tied to this. So it's like, let's pull on your heartstrings. The
Well, it's
resurrection's
funny
happening.
because every year on Good Friday, I usually sit and watch A Passion of the Christ. I like it, but
I've never seen it.
Oh,
it's so good.
oh, it's so
It's
good.
really good.
What's
but
it about? Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's like, really?
It's brutal
How's
as
it end?
fuck.
No spoiler alert, everyone. Sorry, go on.
Easter Sunday, right? With the eclipse.
You know what's
and then
interesting?
all that.
There's
No,
this
I didn't mean to interrupt for real. Say what you were going to say about the Passion of the Christ.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's a spell I was under, so I didn't do it this year, and I feel like I kind of broke the spell. Like, I could say he is risen, but I really feel like Christ was risen on Christmas, so I don't feel like I have to identify with the whole Ishtar of it all anymore.
Yeah, because I thought April was actually when Jesus was born. Like the real birth of Jesus was in April, spring. And that's why hence
Some
April
say April, some
Fools.
say August, but they know it wasn't December 25th. That was never the birth of
Yeah.
Christ. That's just a cover holidays.
Yeah.
Which is like the whole Ouroboros to me. Like, I feel like that's what that holiday is. It's like the death of Christ, the death of the sun on the December 21st. It was always the solstice, the sun worship.
So do you think like April Fool is you fool? This is your new year.
Yeah. There is something to that for sure. I think so.
And do you also think it could be you fool? This is the real day your Christ was born. And you guys
Very
are all
possibly.
celebrating this.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? They found in Turkey, they found a very old Bible written about 1500 years ago, and a lot of
Uh-oh. See, she should have
She
built
looks
that wall
pissed.
bigger. She should
Look
have
at
built
that.
that wall bigger. Those are immigrants coming through the wall, and they're all men of a certain age. They're all military age men.
Lila's gonna kick some ass.
They're all military age men coming over a border right now. But look at how frightening. Can you imagine if you were like 20 military age men and you got to the border of El Paso, Texas, and Layla was standing there? No wall, no barbed wire, just Layla. Like that.
You're so beautiful.
I love you guys.
Yeah, it was fun watching you and doing
It
a
was.
voiceover.
I know. Yeah, that's my angry face, guys. Sorry, but what I was saying was they found a Bible that was 1500 years ago. Okay, and in this Bible, a lot of context that's in the recent Bible now is not in it. And I forgot the title of this one chapter, and it talks about that Jesus was actually alive and resurrected, and the person who died on the cross was Judas. That's inscribed in this Bible, and they took it out in these modern Bibles that are available today. And that after Judas was sacrificed on the cross, 3 days later, Jesus himself, alive, was ascending into heaven, like his whole being ascended into heaven. So that's a whole little rabbit hole. If you guys want to visit it, I will post that story today or later on tonight, and you guys
Yeah,
can check it out
well,
for yourself.
it's the whole idea too, though, because even in the Bible, and I want to say it's in probably all three of the or all the Gospels, but I think it's specifically in Mark. It talks about, the ones before they decided to crucify Jesus. They're like, you had to let one of them go, and there was Jesus Barabbas, and there was Jesus of Nazareth. So the other guy's name was Jesus as well, and his last name was Barabbas or whatever. But Bar in Hebrew means son of. So Jesus of Nazareth would actually be Jesus Bar Joseph. Okay, so Jesus Barabbas would be Abba is father, and I know that because my name is Abby, which means if my name was Abigail, it'd be joy of the father, but it's just Abby. So my name means father. I'm the daddy bitch. But so Jesus Bar Abbas would be Jesus, son of the Father.
Yeah.
And they let him go. Jesus of Nazareth was the one that was crucified. So really, I mean, there's something to that, because Barabbas isn't a name in the Hebrew culture. It's literally means son of the Father.
Yeah.
And isn't there said to be like a book of Thomas, Mary of Magdalene, a book of Egyptians, and one of them was a book of Judas?
I think that's
Of
all in
the,
the
like,
Gnostic Gospels, right?
I don't know what makes the cut or not, because I feel like I've heard that there's 120 something missing books, 60 something missing books. So I don't know what makes the cut into what official stories, but I always feel like you would know more than I about this.
It was just all done at the whatever of Nicaea or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. Jay Dreamers would probably know about this.
The Council of Nicaea.
Yeah, Council of Nicaea.
Yeah.
So
King James.
Do you think some kind of Project Bluebeam event will happen, since the red heifers, I think, have been burnt already, from my understanding, or sacrificed? Innocent animals were sacrificed recently. And don't you think with the alignment on the 8th, being the resurrection of the eclipse, because this has been part of like the whole resurrection, the eclipse is a part of it. Do you think that they might Project Bluebeam some kind of Messiah or Antichrist, and then Jesus coming back? Or do you think something real like that is going to happen? Because a lot of people believe that Jesus is coming this year.
There's something so with the dog star dogma serious of it all. There's something with Thuban. There's something with like that being our North Star, and then everything changing into this whole other system of thinking under Sirius. And it just makes me wonder sometimes, like, if the moon is the artificial thing brought there, did it steer off our alignment just a little so our North Star wouldn't be in this trajectory, but this one? Or, like, instead of our pole, it being above the pole, it'd be a different one. But I just wonder if it's going to be something cataclysmic. It would have to be worldwide. And it makes me think, like, would it be a star exploding like a Betelgeuse giving us a second sun for a couple of days, like a 3-day period that we'd have this second sun, that it'd explode before it went small again? Or would our moon explode, that it would be something so catastrophic that would affect the entire planet that we'd be like, oh my gosh. Like, because they've almost shown that to us over and over again in movies, like Moonfall. And
I just think that these ideas we have lived over and over and over again. Every reset, we've had many floods happen in different parts of the world. And I feel like they use that as a tool to lose us. Like, I want to believe that Jesus is coming, but then but at the same time, I don't want to believe that, because it's like end times and this is ending and everything is ending and people are going to be raptured out of here. People are actually believing that they're going to be raptured out of here while the rest will be here to rot. Like, I don't want that. I really don't want that.
Well,
but
it's
a
not
lot of people believe.
left or right. Yeah, what they believe is that they'll be raptured because they're saved, right? Saved by grace through faith. And supposedly some of the children will be too, because they're under the age of accountability. But then, like, the people who are left behind, you have basically, there's a 7-year tribulation. You have time, like pretty much up to the time that you would have to take the mark to buy or sell. So that's the actual, like, end times theology, is that you have until that point to decide to accept Christ. You're just left behind. And you have to deal with all the bullshit that's happening on Earth. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think
so. It's
that's
like everybody
death.
else gets that free pass, and they don't have to deal with it.
I think everybody gets resurrected, and when it's their time, I think it's like personal. You're raptured out of here when you die. It's not like a specific time. I think everyone has their own rapture when they die. Like, your soul leaves this realm. I don't think it's like a group thing.
My mom's religion believed that, just like Jesus, everyone had a period of 3 days. So, but that's what I've been thinking about a lot, is that Christ allegedly died on a Friday, right? And then was resurrected on a Sunday. But it said that, on the 3rd day. Well, I don't get that math. I guess you count Friday, even though he didn't die till like Friday night, but he's resurrected Sunday. That to me, it doesn't equate 3 days. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's a loosh. Like, I don't. It's like I'm seeing the grand scheme, like the grand stage. It's like they're doing all of this. Like, it's a fucking movie, like, literally. But truly, I believe that's what rapture is. It's like your own day of judgment for each individual is personal. Like, I don't think it's like a group cult thing. Mic check.
I think a rapture like that.
What about if on the highest possible time, we're going to get 3 days of darkness, or like a certain amount of time of darkness, and everybody's religion was put there to get them through whatever amount of days of darkness.
Yeah.
It's not about necessarily finding the light, that we're all under the assumption, like, trying to find God. Maybe it's just about getting you through your darkest. Like, maybe instead of finding light, it's just like they're at the bottom sometimes of the tunnel, and it is like, like, maybe in a weird way, the whole thing is like certain people got to hold certain things down, certain parts of the world down. And it almost seems like the religions that have come up around certain parts of the world kind of fit the strength or chaotic nature or masculinity of that part of the world, where maybe that's what it needs to hold it down. If we're going to go through some kind of like chaotic actual apocalypse, or it's like,
what if it's just all astrology and we're like taking it so literal and it's just all metaphorical for astrology? The sun, the light, the stars, the fallen stars, like the shooting stars. Maybe it's just all like a fucking metaphor and we're getting it all twisted and it's not, it has nothing to do with us. Or maybe it is because we are stars and we don't even know that we are like star, you know, made of stardust and we have our star. Like,
Or if there's
these
like a story
moving
in the
stars.
sky that we passed on to each other and we kept the story detailed and passed on to each other, what about if we could know? It wasn't about prediction. We just knew every phase of our planet. We knew the breaths it would take. We knew where we should move. We knew where we should migrate. We knew what animals to eat, what seasons, everything. We knew everything about the detail of how the realms work because of the story written in the stars. And a certain few people that they have the story and we don't know because our history is rewritten every 200 years in this like Tatarian idea of things. Like our stories rewritten and our histories erased, and so our story in the stars is rewritten. And so what if catastrophes sometimes happen that wouldn't have to be catastrophes, but the elite might know where to buy real estate during this 100 years or where to dig a tunnel or when to get an airship or when to have free electricity, but they never tell us.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what if the stars, it's like what we think of as chaos, like, oh my gosh, a hurricane or El Nino or a volcano. What about if all that stuff's easy written for us? And it's like, well, the stars told you not to build by there. All the animals knew.
Yeah.
But you guys, the only animals that stayed were the ones you kept in the pen.
Yeah, because they were stuck.
So it's
I
just
don't
like, what
know.
if the stars, it's not, things wouldn't seem so chaotic, but the things that cause so much chaos are just because we don't know about it. But if we knew with the story and the stars, like maybe certain things are like, whoa, these water signs are all together, like during certain times. Why is Aquarius here and Scorpio here and Pisces? I wonder what happens when all them are in the sky at the same time by the moon. I wonder if there's more water rise. You know, like
Have you,
the story could be so simple.
the story could be like Apocalypto, like the movie, and they show the symbology and how they fooled everyone because they knew the fucking eclipse was coming, and this is how they loosed their entire fucking village. It is crazy. I love that movie, by the way. Like
It's a good movie.
it's so good, and it shows you like how they loosed everyone. 'cause
Oh, you
they
guys are on a
knew-
Mel Gibson movie kick tonight.
Yeah, I mean he's good with the movies,
Passion
bro.
of the Christ and Apocalypto.
Yeah, but it ties in with this, like the whole eclipse of it all and the whole sacrificing of humans. And like, this is what they do today. And they know that this fucking eclipse is coming. And it's like, how can we loose the entire fucking world, especially with the power of the black scribe, or what is it called? What is it? Scribe?
Yeah.
Black
Scribe?
Mirror?
Yeah. Yeah, Black Mirror. It's like, oh, we can make this reality happen and pass it because almost every country in the world has this device now. It's so doable.
With
We
the Mel
lose each
Gibson
other.
of it all, wasn't he one of the first to be called anti-Semitic?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate a
A
shaming
a lot of people call me anti-Semitic, but I ain't that. I ain't that. No. No. I'm anti-Zionist for fucking sure, not anti-Jewish, anti-fucking Zionist, and what I see their plan as being, and it's world domination. And that's what I think this is all about, because it's that's the beginning of the Abrahamic system, is this Judaism, but Judaism doesn't believe in having their own country because they're not allowed to by God. But here we are, people who follow the other version of the Torah, which is not the Torah. They created their own sect, and now they're loosing everybody to this plan that they have. It's like, it's mind-boggling.
Not to circle back, but I think it's Hudson Gibson or Hutton Gibson, Mel Gibson's father. He's an interesting rabbit hole. He links all the way back because Mel Gibson's
Really?
Australian, but his father was American. I believe his father was like an American patriot, like rabble rouser, like conspiracy theorist, all the things. And he moved to Australia. I think he has Mel in Australia, but I think he might be military. But
Mm.
Mel Gibson's father is interesting. I remember that a rabbit hole I went down like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know why it's coming up again in my brain. That I'm probably just saying it aloud, so I look into it myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, now
There's
I
a-
want to know.
I know. Maybe I should pull it up. Maybe I should do it right now. So I'm not.
Everyone's being fear-loosed right now, and they shouldn't. Just take out your popcorn. Don't follow the herd. Just
So Abby,
watch.
didn't another bridge get hit in Oklahoma? Hutton Gibson.
Hell if I know. I don't watch the news.
Yeah,
Won't
there's
surprise
another
me.
bridge. It didn't
On the
collapse,
Arkansas
but
River.
It didn't
Wow.
collapse. It just looked like a drunk hit it.
you know what I did? I saw the news
But
about it.
that's
I was
very
like,
likely.
oh, I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't even want to know anymore. Like, let
Okay.
them do what they
American
want.
writer. Traditional Catholic movement which holds since the death of Pius. The alleged occupiers of the Holy See are not valid popes due to their espousal of one or more heresies, and that for the lack of a valid pope to see the Rome is thus vacant. This is even bigger than I thought. 11 children. Gibson was the outspoken critic of both the post-Vatican II Roman Catholic Church and those traditional Catholics who reject, what is this, Vaticanism? Vaticanism, such as the Society of Saint Pius X. In a 2003 interview, he engaged in Holocaust denial, wondering how the Nazis could have disposed of 6 million bodies during the Holocaust, and claims that the September 11th attacks were perpetrated by remote control. He was also quoted as saying that the Second Vatican Council was a Masonic plot backed by the Jews. So yeah,
Damn.
Gibson, he goes hard. Hutton Gibson goes hard, yo.
He does go hard.
Hutton Gibson sounds
Was
like
he lying though? Was he lying?
Hutton
You
Gibson.
might be onto something.
Dude, I mean, if y'all like really learn the truth about what Hitler was about, he was a fucking animal activist who wrote the first laws of protecting animals. Do you think a person who will protect animals would actually want to kill humans? I don't think so. The only thing he did was
think
boycott.
one thing. I
Huh.
do think one thing about the occult. I do think somewhere karmically they hurt kids and humans, and to adjust their karma, they protect animals. Like it's a weird thing, but there's too many philanthropy groups of people that I can connect to really nefarious things that they're always like backing like an animal rights organization or have a pet buying business on Rodeo Drive or like some kind of thing. But I think it's another way if I have animals that I say, this animal is very highly reactive, so please do not open the container. And all these people know me, then it's all just ways I can avoid customs.
What if he
It's
knew
like when
the
you're doing a
plan
good
of
spell
behind?
and you have to kill Betty White or something.
Well, what
Yeah.
if he knew the true plan of what the Jewish agenda was, and you know they have been like kicked out from country to country to country to country. What if he knew? Because if you listen to his speeches, he was talking about how they were controlling the media, how they were controlling the education system, how they controlled everything. So the only thing he did, I do not believe he ordered for any Jews to be killed, but he did order for a boycott so they can leave the country. And in retaliation, you all know the story. I don't know if you all know the story. In retaliation, the infiltrators went to Britain and they said, hey, you know, we can destroy Germany, just bring in America if you can give me Palestine. Because they were going to take Albania first, but they said, no, we can't go up against Albania. Like, we can't. Like, it's not possible. So they were given that property in exchange to destroy Germany. And no one talks about how many Germans and how many Europeans died. Over 50 million, apparently. You know, and they throw this number of 6 million Jews, 6 million Jews. And yeah, it's not a Jewish problem. It was a Zionist problem. And that's what he was against. Like what Putin is, I don't know if this is his agenda, but he knows what is going on with the cabal. Hence what Trump is saying, the cabal, the cabal, the cabal. Who is the cabal? The Zionists. Like, that's what it is. So I don't know. I just feel like they knew deeper, and the winners of the wars write the history, and they painted Hitler as a 6 million Jew killer, but that wasn't the case at all.
What do
The
you think
only
of the
thing,
Balfour Declaration?
That's the deal, part of the deal.
Yeah, but
And he
before
knew.
Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like somewhere in ways like Hitler is a patsy to set up for the whole thing. Like,
well,
You think?
he
Israel couldn't
was.
be there without World War II completely. So it had to be allowed to happen so they could go to war against it. Maybe he didn't know
Well,
he was,
you know
but
how Hitler was half Jewish, right? Like, you know that he's a bastard Rothschild?
yeah.
Yeah. So he was chosen to play that role for sure.
And I
This
think
is some
another
fuck
big,
shit.
huge thing is, so the way they escape is we pay attention with Paperclip, but another big way the powers that be behind him escape is they go over and they take over the entire royal family. And this is the royal
Yeah.
family is not the Windsors. They have no rightful heirs. They are not the bloodline of England at all. The first one that would actually be an Englishman would be only William, because, or Harry, William or Harry, because Diana is a Spencer Churchill. So the Queen of England is not anything except a name she picked out of a book. Her family was like, let's be called Windsors.
Well, I don't know if you
Wow.
guys read anything. I haven't read any much of it really, but it's called The Light of Britannia, and how Britain came to be, and the kingdom of who should have been the royal bloodline. It's not it's not English at all. It's part of that whole like area from where I'm from. There's so much detail that goes into it and how the, British kingdom came to be. And if you guys want to learn, it's called literally The Light of Britannia, like how Britain came to be. Just haven't had time to like do or read anything lately. It's been crazy, but yeah, you can find the truth there.
Yeah,
The
the
Light
House
of
of
Britannia.
Mountbatten and all this. This is kind of what I think too, a little bit with Germany and the House of Mountbatten and stuff, is that is the Holy Roman Empire, which I also think stole a lot of traditions and stuff from your culture. So I think
Mhm.
everything about the Holy Roman Empire, in my opinion, is from the day that they stab Julius Caesar in the back. They mock him by giving this calendar July to him, which becomes our whole screwy thing. I think that becomes the whole and Holy Roman Empire. I think that becomes the Holy See. I think we get these two words that just mean holly. So we get this kind of Nimrod system a little bit, where we get this holly representation of the Holly See and the Holly Empire, but that just becomes some kind of bastardized pagan that isn't really their religion either. So it's some kind of higher ups of these religions that have agreed upon it, and that's where we get like Constantine. So the
Mhm.
people that wanted war saw a sword, and the people that wanted Christ saw a cross, but it was the same symbol.
Yeah,
And
it
something
is.
about, yeah, so
Wow.
something about that, I feel like they take that word holy is something wrong. Like in the C, it's holy C, SEE. It's not holy CSEA. So the idea that the one eye, and I still keep going back to Elizabeth the First and how that the crown somewhere, if they rule the church, then it's German infiltrated all the way through. And so when it's even that thing that we read where he's like, oh, it's Masons backed by Jews run this Catholic church. This isn't the real Catholic church. And I have a buddy named Jeff Friesen, and he's my conspiracy guru. And he always said the original Catholic religion was stolen. Like, this isn't Catholicism. This is what Protestants are convincing you is Catholicism, because this is the original war back when between Mary, Queen of Scots, and Queen Elizabeth, the one who was never supposed to be queen. And so you see again in the rhetoric, it's even funny that she takes Elizabeth II. She was never supposed to be the queen. Her father was never supposed to be the king. And some random red sparrow lures him away from the crown for love. That's wild. And that's how the whole thing's set into play.
This is all wild, honestly. All of
They
it.
steal
It's
the
all
double
wild.
eagle, they steal the lions, they steal the unicorn, they steal like all the other things. This is why you got to think
The
unicorns
snake.
probably were real too. The snake, it's like you see all this stuff, and then they go around the world and everywhere that they've had human atrocities and human trafficking and whatever, I believe they get an emerald or a gem made out of all these pressed together dead bodies. And that's how you get these really huge diamonds or really big emeralds or really big things they're doing. And then they put them on their head and wear them in a crown. And the skull and bones, I believe, show us if you have Geronimo's skull, you can practice magic. You can use a medicine man or woman skull to absorb what they had. That's why I think Henry VIII had all the skulls underneath him. That's why there's still catacombs to this day. So I think Henry VIII, it wasn't just about him killing his wives. He wanted all these skulls, because then think of how much power he has. Think of his dreams. Think of these. So now they take these things and they have these certain gems given to them from all over the world. And if you heart of the sea, I'm sure that buries something that we can't find, some Titanic thing. And then we wear it on a crown and rituals, and I have a scepter. What are we up to over here?
Isn't our bone structure shaped like a cross in a sense? It's like, you have the line down and you have the part that connects it and makes a cross, doesn't it?
I think when you're a baby, like when your fontanelle is open, it's kind of like that. But you
Yeah.
have a ton of different bones in your head, so none of them I think are very symmetrical. But
I thought it was.
but
like
yeah, I think it's opened up like that when you're a baby. So it is. It's kind of the soft spot. It's like dips down, but it is kind of cross shaped.
I thought it was just like that. I didn't know there was more pieces to it.
Yeah, like so a baby has, because their fontanelle is open, they have more bones than an adult.
Okay.
Didn't we learn this on the Secret Society of Good Guys? I feel like somebody
That's
told us
probably
this,
lit.
that babies' kneecaps are their eyeballs. Like when
What?
babies,
So weird.
like their knees come out of their eye sockets.
Oh, weird. I know that their eyes are fused shut until like a certain time. Like
That's
towards
why
the
they
end.
don't have any knees. Like, you know how babies have like no knees for a little while,
Yeah.
and then their eyes take a little bit to develop, because so that hole on our face, like it was just a weird little kid thing. I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if people that don't have pronounced knees have like shallower eyes. Like I have deep eyes, but I have pointy knees.
I got big eyes and big thighs.
Big eyes and big thighs.
Yep.
That's
My
your
glutes are
shirt.
big too.
I got big glutes, and you have to rhyme a word with it. Big eyes. Are you looking at my big eyes or my big thighs?
Big eyes and thighs.
Are you? There was girls that had a sign at the show that said "Tits for Tripoli."
Oh,
shit.
wow. Pick me's. I love it.
Pick me's.
Hey, pick me.
Yeah, there
Y'all,
was,
I'm officially at the heaviest weight now that I've ever been not pregnant, and I still freaking look good, so I'm excited. I'm about to gain 20 more pounds too.
Wow, fatty.
Sick.
I'm kind of excited.
Sick, baby.
When I peel it all off, I'm gonna look like a unicorn without a horn. So I'll just look like a horse.
A horse without a horn. Without a horn.
Pegasus.
Without a horn.
You're a Pegasus with wings.
There we go. Exactly.
A peg.
Period.
Pegasus. Yeah, I would rather a Pegasus than a unicorn any day of the week. Unicorn doesn't really have shit on a Pegasus.
For real.
They all want to take the horn. You may as well just like fly.
I think it's an aphrodisiac, the horn.
If I'm gonna have like a control of an animal and I could have a unicorn, I'm just gonna go full rhino. Like, you can play on your horse, I'm gonna ride my rhinoceros. Like, they seem like the same animal.
Yeah, isn't that what a unicorn was actually the word for? A rhinoceros? Didn't we go through this like a while ago?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I feel
a rhinoceros. Yeah. So a rhinoceros.
Did you look it up?
I think it was me that went down this rabbit hole. We brought it up, and the word is
so.
actually a fucking rhinoceros, and they tried to lynch us
Do you guys want to hang out until the new year?
till April 1st. So
Yeah.
Jesus' birthday,
Yeah,
April Fools. Yeah,
not too much
let's do it.
longer. I
Yeah.
probably
Not too much longer.
we could have a real ball drop too. I probably have stuff for that. No, because this is the real drop. I don't want to put Bal in it.
Yeah,
We did
no,
that.
not Bal. No,
We did that on
fuck
New Year's.
Bal. Fuck Bal, bro.
Baltimore. That's what I thought of Oklahoma. Can you imagine if your job, you're the Ukrainian in charge of the barge in Oklahoma, and you're like, okay, I have to run it into this bridge here, and my other buddy did it well, and blah, 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 blah. And you run it into the bridge and it does nothing.
Fuck that shit up.
You're just a full Ukrainian sitting there like, bruh-oh. It's
How
crazy.
embarrassing.
How embarrassing. You couldn't even drive your rig right into the bridge.
You know
Pussy.
what I wanted to talk about actually? The whole rabbit hole that you went down with P. Diddy's tattoo. Because I thought P. Diddy's tattoo was Mother Mary and baby Jesus, but I didn't know any of that information that you brought up of the angry woman or the angry
Oh,
whatever.
the Haitian goddess.
Yeah, that.
Azili
thought that was
Dantor, Zulu Dantor. Yes, there's two Haitian goddesses, and both of them have, I don't want to say the last name because I think it's like with the Dantor conjuring at the end. And one of them is the Angry Mother, and she is a Madonna like the Virgin Mary or like the Black Madonna. And people are like, that's a depiction of the Black Madonna. Yes, in the 1700s in Haiti, because they already had this goddess, but she didn't have a lot of depictions of her. So they theorized that somewhere in the 1700s, late 1700s, that maybe some Polish person came over or somebody came over on a ship with this deity. And because they saw in her what was the story of their deity, that in the late 1700s, she starts becoming a depiction of Eluzu Dantor as well. But then you can also find different depictions, but people think all those depictions of her come from that one depiction of the Black Madonna. But like Isis, like Virgin Mary, like she is a virgin mother, another hermaphrodite. She is a goddess that gave birth, and she is an angry mother. She is the protector of women and children. So this isn't a theory that I even created. I was just looking at his tattoo, and once I started going down a rabbit hole, I found chat rooms of a whole bunch of Haitians in 2022, that they were all like, Diddy's on a downfall. This goddess is not to be fucked with. Like, it was all these Haitians on chat boards that they were like, you cannot get her on you if you're doing anything bad to women or children. Like, she is a protect. It would be like somebody you'd call on if you like got raped or if you were a trafficked child. She's that powerful of a deity that she could protect you forever on in the rest of your life. You know, it's like
Holy
you
shit.
get her tattooed on you if you're doing anything bad, or they think the karmic of her, like what she would do to you, would be like trifold, you know. But I don't even want to like guess. So I had a couple of people that didn't watch the whole video at first that were like sideways, and I noticed some African Americans came sideways at me a little bit on the video, but a lot of Haitians heard it and they big upped me, and I was like, good. I just didn't want them to think I was slighting their religion at all by making this association, because they got that I wasn't slighting their deity. I was saying she's supposed to be a protector of women and children, and he's going around fucking with somebody else's shit. Like,
yeah.
I read through all the comments, and it's funny because it did start out that way with the African Americans kind of getting pissed off at you, but then all of a sudden, yeah, the Haitians popped in and they're like, yeah, this is right, you got it, this
right.
is what's up.
Yep. Right.
And the Haitians would know this, like, you know,
their goddess.
Yeah, it's like you in America.
They were like, this is Black Mother Mary. You white people just don't want to admit the real color of Jesus. And I was like, oh, this really
ain't
has
even about Jesus
to do with I am with you. Like, if we were gonna get into a conversation, like, I do not think Jesus looked like me, everyone. I don't think Jesus was blonde hair, blue eyes. If that was
Not at
like,
all.
that isn't the conversation here at all. I am really just making a comment about P. Diddy's back tattoo and then unraveling what I think it could mean. That's
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah, because a lot of the Black culture in America, they're not connected to their roots. Like in Haitian, in Africa, they're more connected to their roots. So it's like when you say something like that, they won't even look back into their roots to see, maybe we're being loosed here with white Jesus and whatever the stories may be. So it's good to have
I
that
feel like in
confirmation.
America, though, a lot of us have lost our roots. Like I just do believe that if your family immigrated here and stuff, you probably have more connection to that. But I feel like a lot of us, my family's been in the United States for hundreds of years, since before it was United States. So what is our root?
yeah, I think that I think all of our history has been stolen from us in a way to make us the weakest, or believe that our people weren't fighters or running for the right reasons. Like, they just made us think that we were all fleeing
Victims.
or yeah, and somewhere that wasn't the case. I don't know. I see Diddy conversation going on. I have some other theories of, I do believe Diddy's just a honeypot. Like, I just think he's a honey trap,
cover
like
up.
Epstein. I think he's a low level dude. I think I don't believe the elite were prepared for this. And I don't think they were prepared for the barrage of this with 50 Cent leaning in. Because when a
Oh,
celebrity
love it.
leans in, it all of a sudden, they can quiet the three of us talking about P. Diddy for the last 5 years, last 10 years. But when celebrities all lean in, and for whatever reason, it gives me a feeling that they feel safe right now. It's like they feel like whoever was the person holding shit over their head, they feel safe. So I'm like, P. Diddy, I believe, any way you cut it, is bigger than R. Kelly.
Oh yeah,
Like, he's
for
a
sure.
shit. I also believe P. Diddy, any way you cut it, even though it doesn't seem like it, is bigger than Weinstein. I think there's like, Weinstein was into self gratification. P. Diddy was providing a lot of other people. He's like a Heidi
Yeah.
Fleiss in a way. And so he's like a bigger catch. I do think there's other Diddies, and I also think for white America to get it, it has to be a white woman next. Like, Ghislaine wasn't it, because Ghislaine's too attached to Epstein, and the elite were prepared for that. They didn't seem as prepared for Diddy. It's like all of a sudden we're getting this stuff. Like, they had their Nickelodeon cover where they had this really quick documentary release that is like, oh, Dan Schneider's not that bad, kind of gig. And then so Diddy, we're not seeing all these covers right away where it's like the Netflix documentary, Diddy's not so bad, piss on me, R. Kelly. We're not getting that. All the news almost doesn't know what way to run with it. So I feel like for people to understand the real of it, it has to be like, we found humans on the bottom of Taylor Swift's plane.
But you know what's interesting? You see all like Bill Cosby
It's
and
got to
all
be a
these
very
movie
American
stars
woman.
talking about all of this for many years, and like Drew Barrymore and all these fucking actors and singers talking about the weird shit that they've been doing at these parties. And Drew Barrymore was a big one. 9 years old, partying and drinking at these parties, and then going to rehab at 13, and now we care. Like, what the fuck? Where have we been all these fucking years? Like, where were everyone's voices? Huh?
Everybody cared back then. Everybody bought her book, Little Girl Lost. Everybody was watching her go down the thing like, oh, there's Drew at parties. Almost the same way we watch Britney unravel. Everybody
Yeah.
watched Drew unravel the
Yeah.
same way. It was like everybody was tuned in, like the same way, like feeding off her.
Yeah. And
This
no one was doing a thing.
did nothing. Everybody watched. There's so few people, I feel like, that are like you for real, that you didn't watch the bitch burn. This is what you didn't watch the bitch fucking burn. you would have dropped your camera. I think there's so few people in the world, even so many people that will they'll be like, well, you're woke, fuck everybody else, or you know what, you're not vaccinated, who cares if they go vaccinate themselves, or you know what, your kids are homeschooled, who cares about all those other kids at the elementary school, or you and your family, you have plenty of food on there, who cares about those people in the projects and other. It's like some people in life, they get outside the fire and they check themselves and they realize they can still breathe and their body still works and they run back into the fire. Other people sit and watch the fucking building burn. And
Mhm.
so many people in the world now are watchers. They slow
Yeah.
down on a highway. They fucking just watch. They have no intentions of running back in. And I won't ever fucking leave. Like, I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I just feel like this way that it's one of the beauties, I think, of not having kids is there's nothing they can hold over my head anymore. And I can't imagine loving something that much where they could be like, well, I know where your daughter goes to school. Like, there's nothing they can hold over my head anymore. Like, somewhere there's people that they're going to keep running back into the building. And that's kind of our country right now. That's kind of every city, every, the person next to you. Like, you just keep running back in the building, and other people are just going to sit outside and like get a peep, which this is a trick, you guys. I heard this today and I'm like, got to try it. Put a peep on the end of a stick and put that over a fire to make your s'more. Doesn't that seem delicious? Anyways, a lot of the world
It
wants
would.
to
It would
fucking,
have like the caramelized sugar on it, like
yeah.
creme brulee.
Yeah, so a lot of people want to cook their peeps on the fire instead of run back inside. But Layla, you proved you are not one of those people.
Yeah.
You will
How?
run back in.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
You didn't even know how you were gonna put that bitch out. You were like, I guess I would have tackled her.
I would have put. I swear, I was about to grab her and put her in the fucking. What do we have? That. What is it called? Where you throw money into the thing?
The fountain.
The fountain. There you go.
You're about to throw that bitch in the fountain and make a wish.
Yeah, she was like maybe 5 feet away from the fountain. I was gonna grab her and just like push her in there with myself, like turn her off real quick.
That is wild.
That would have been a great spell, honestly.
What day is the start of Aries?
The actual start of Aries?
Is it like the
Sun in Aries?
26, like 326?
Are we going with the calendar or actual alignment?
Yeah, calendar or whatever. Yeah, because I guess the stars are fucked.
Yeah, because we're in Pisces right now. No, we're in Aries right now, actually. That's what's actually going on. The sun is in Aries right now.
Are you looking at the true sky, or are you just looking at the?
It's everyone's talking about it. Like the alignment is not correct with what we go by. Like we were supposedly in Pisces. Yeah, and it's not true. It's like, what the fuck? Like during my Pisces season, we weren't in Pisces, we were in Aries. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is the sun in Aries right now when we should be in Pisces? It's just something's weird with the sun and the stars and the moon and all of it.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I apologize to everyone for my short fucking attention span because it's Sunday nights and we always hang and then I'm like smoking. So I do want to shout out to Ali Star Growley. She dropped us 10 bones and she put, if only art school accepted Hitler. Back when, I apologize for your pronoun. I don't want them, they, you. We don't them, they around here. So either he or she, apologize. And the reason I looked over and happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Or should we sing it like Marilyn Monroe? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. You're so young. I won't do
we don't get old. We get young.
And many more.
I don't mind it.
I
don't mind it.
Spice. Can't wait.
If hips and knees were fine. It's really just it's pain. I don't care about looks as much as pain. Like, I wanna go on a run for as long as I used to be able to, but
Yeah, quality of life.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
catch
I
that.
wanna make
I want to catch that, runner's high orgasm. That's the best feeling ever.
Can't you get like the
Mhm.
runner shit your pants thing happen too though? I know I think that's a really real thing.
That's never happened to
Yeah.
me yet.
Like if
I've
you run a
never
marathon or half marathon, I think a lot of the times people shit themselves or
I've never pooped, but I know people who have.
Yeah, I
yeah.
pooped once in my pants.
While running?
No, still just sat
Yeah.
in my chair and just pooped away.
We've talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about it.
Right.
It's
Shit
okay.
happens. Shit
It's
happens.
okay, and it's good that you're not traumatized about it anymore.
No.
You're
Who
like,
knows? It
yeah,
might happen
I
again,
shit my pants. I shit my pants once. It is what it is. It is
Shit
what it
happens.
is. I had Hungry Howie's last night for the first time in like 20 years.
Hungry what?
Howie's?
Oh, what's that?
I just remembered it from college, and so I had to introduce Jules to it last night. If you have a Hungry Howie's by you, and it's such trash food. It's not, I don't know what the pizza tastes like because they make a sub there that they actually fold the pizza in half and put all the meat and stuff on it. So they have an Italian where they actually just take the pizza crust and fold it in half after they cook it and use that for the bread. It
Ooh.
is so good and it's nostalgic to me. And so I had half of it last night and half of it today when I got home. But it is trash. And I have a Coke in a can. For some reason, driving a long drive to and fro, it's just like my body said, road trip. Let's eat like garbage.
That was me with the Chinese food, bruh.
The place we went was pretty close to the place we stayed. I feel like it was probably north of there, like an hour. It would have been closer to your house. It probably would have been easy and a quicker thing for you to get to.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That makes me want to see you guys sooner, like, because I don't know when we're planning to see each other, but like the fact that you guys all did that
May.
yesterday
Let's do
makes me want to
May.
see you guys.
I
Let's
can
do May.
fly to Layla's airport cheap. I can fly. I think there's an Oklahoma airport I can fly to cheap. I know I can fly to Tennessee cheap. There's like a couple states that I see. I bet you we could all pick a connecting airport that one of the cheap airports by us go to, and
Yeah,
then just pick that.
smart.
I think we should plan something in May and go
I'm
to
gonna be on that.
Oklahoma.
I'm gonna be in the Bahamas.
I know I've got graduation coming up, but
Then June.
June is good.
Yeah, I can't do April yet because I gotta wait for the other
What about
bartender to come
July?
back. July?
What about
Yeah, we can
after
do-
Independence Day? Then kids are out of school, so if people have kids and they want to take a weekend or something, they can
Are we gonna
arrange
do a
it.
big one?
I don't know if we're talking about it this far ahead of time.
Well,
Or
yeah,
are
we
we
could do a big
supposed to
one.
do Salem?
Well, that's
We
going to be a
are.
trip that we're going to take and film and stuff. And if people over there want to meet us too, but I was thinking about another idea that I have.
Okay.
I like the
I'm
sound of that
down.
idea. It sounds like fun.
Yeah. I'm down.
But yeah, the
Or why don't we just go to Vegas?
yeah. You know what I realized about the conspiracy realm? Not a lot of people are big drinkers. And Vegas is a town for drinkers.
And pot smokers.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's like it's a lot of lights and a lot of like I'm like potheads like outside.
I know that's what I was thinking. I was like,
True.
we're outdoorsy. I'm like,
And
Northern California would be cool near
inexpensive
Shasta.
so everybody could
That'd
have
be
it.
far for us all to go.
Yeah,
But yeah,
center of the
something like
country,
that.
not in a communist state. I don't wanna go to California. I don't wanna go to a blue state,
No.
really. I wanna go this would be my thing out there. I would prefer a closer, and I know psyops and whatever, but governments are governments. I would like to be able to smoke pot. Like, I'd like that to be a thing
Florida,
we don't have to
baby.
stress out about. I think Florida. It's so
Yeah, we
I would
bomb.
could
go.
do
I love going to
PCB.
Florida, so I'm good with that.
But it
We
gets
could
hot
do
as
around
fuck
me.
here if we plan it for July in Florida. We'd have to do a different month for Florida. So if everyone's gonna come, they can get out of their hellhole, like out of their winter blues, and it could be called like a break a winter depression.
Yeah.
RG said that's why Oklahoma's screwed. No, Oklahoma has probably the we have medical, and it's probably the laxest medical laws that there are. Like, you can buy 3 ounces a day, and that's just
Ooh.
on that's just like regular flour. So
Yeah, when
you
I
don't-
was comparing with Abby's, like how much they can get there compared to what I can get here,
yeah,
it's like what they can get in a day, I can get in 70 days.
and you like ounces are like $20. They're not. It's so cheap here.
An ounce for 20, bro? Hook me up. Send me a pound.
I'm lying. I think it's an ounce for 30. An ounce for 30. So, but yeah.
Allegedly.
Send me a pound, girl.
You ask it on here. See,
Or
it's
2.
absinthe time. It's the secret society of good guys. Let's take some absinthe. That's
I
what
do
it
want to
is.
do
I'd
that.
be down.
I want to do
Yeah,
that.
I'd be down. Mm-hmm.
You guys, I've drank more absinthe and it just doesn't do anything, and it tastes like fucking black licorice. I wanted to
Oh,
say
I like
dookie,
black
but I want
licorice
to give
too.
you a real. If you like
do.
black licorice, absinthe will be your jam. But it has such a flavor that you actually like the sugar that you melt into it. You have to melt it in there to make it even close to drinkable. And everybody's like, "Oh, you've had fake absinthe, green fairy, blah blah blah." I've tried it from different countries. I've tried it from different oh, you need to go to this alley in this fucking country. Done it. Done all the things. It's strong. So it's like I could see that you get drunk or whatever, but I just think absinthe might be overrated.
I'm
Unless
sure it
somebody's like,
is.
"You haven't had my granny's absinthe." I haven't.
So you know what we need to do? Some DMT.
Yeah, period.
I won't do it until I'm told I will, but I will shaman or I will do like microdosing on mushrooms. My last DMT experience was so much for my brain to conceptualize. I still sometimes just sit alone and have like
Ah,
sometimes just when my eyes are shut and I even see a glimpse of anything, I'm like it was a lot. Even
I wish I
telling
knew-
you guys that right now made my heart the same way as watching that girl get lit on fire.
Cheney, Abby, what were you saying about that whole feeling? Like it's, connected to your chakras and was something like that.
Because you said
Oh.
something specific.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say it again.
because- Yeah, say what you said.
The heart going down to your asshole and it
Yeah.
tightens and it's like, oh, that feeling goes down there. Your sacral
Because
chakra.
when Layla sent it to us, she was like, "Man, my heart was in my asshole." Like, she's like, it was straight down to my asshole. The way she said it, I was like, "That's really funny, Layla." Like, I've never heard anybody say that before. She's like, "No, I really felt that way. Like, I felt it go from here all the way down to my asshole." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I would guess, Layla, that your heart chakra is wide open and you're very heart centered, just by knowing you. So
Mhm.
it would make sense because your root chakra, which is your asshole area, like that's all about survival. So you went straight into like survival fucking fight or flight mode. And that's like
Ah.
people who are stuck in their root chakra are very much in survival mode.
Hmm.
So
It
you
was
felt your
strange.
heart immediately. You were all vibing.
Yeah. She's
In
like
your
in her heart
zone.
chakra.
Yeah, totally in
Yeah, I
her
see.
zone.
I
Like
was
in
like,
her
"Oh!"
boots and cats and vibing. And Layla's such a pro girls girl when she's watching a girl feel herself like, look at that queen. I just picture
Mhm.
Layla's
Yeah.
energy toward her like, go
I'm
ahead,
like,
girl.
yes, bitch.
Get it.
I'm like, bet it. I'm like, woo, get it. And
Bet
then-
it all on black. Bet it all on. Then all of a sudden, that bitch is lit the fuck up, and you were like, "Woo!" I just hear Summer. Oh,
You know what's funny though? Like last night, I was in a whole vibe. I don't need to be with a group. I don't need to be with a bunch of girls. I don't need to be with anyone. I could be alone, dancing with myself. And, you'll have your hater, crew of girls. They're like, oh, so you're the girl who's just vibing by herself? I'm like, absolutely, being my absolute freeness. Like, I am not there for anybody. I'm not there for your clan. I'm not there for this guy or for anybody. I'm here to let out what I need to let out and dance it off. It's a whole spell, like dancing and letting whatever you have inside of you out of you through dance is my favorite fucking thing to do. Because I go through a lot. Like, I don't share it with everyone, but I go through a lot, and that's my escape, dancing. It's like my runner's high or whatever. I get into that space and it just feels good. And some women don't understand it and they will shit on you for it. It's like, oh, you're just there dancing by yourself. Absolutely. While you watch, keep watching.
That's what I'm here for.
All eyes on me. Keep watching.
Dancing's
All eyes on me,
actually
baby.
really learned choreographed dance specifically, but dancing in general. If somebody has a stroke, and I don't remember what side of their body, but
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year! Brr, brr, brr,
Happy New
brr.
Year.
Sorry, I didn't
And
mean to
all
interrupt.
acquaintance be forgot. I never know the rest of the
Never
world.
brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot in days of all lang syne? I used to sing it a lot higher.
Brr, 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 brr. So Happy New
Mhm.
Year. Happy Aries, April Fools. And I don't even remember what we were talking about, but who cares? It's New Year's.
Sorry.
Yeah. And
I had to say
apparently,
it because it was New Year's.
apparently someone in our chat likes to eat farts. Welcome to the Golden Shit Club.
Fart eaters. Huh.
Oh, God.
Well, that's quite the kink, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
It
a whole different
is.
kink. That's a whole different kink. I'm not into scat play.
There's nothing sexy about that.
Well, hey, some people find it sexy. Dubai is a thing, I guess.
I mean, it's a thing in a lot of places, not just Dubai. I think John McAfee was into it, people say. But then I sometimes wonder if it's just shaming, like part of a shaming ritual.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. A comet and an eclipse and a new year and an Easter. And what is this week going to hold? This is the build-up to faith.
It is.
It's very feminine, very wombish, very. Do you catch my flow?
No pun intended.
Like literally, it's like a womb ritual or something. The birth, New Year. That's what
The
I
Ishtar of it all. The egg, the bunny.
I like big booty Latinas. That's an Alex Stein original. Pimp on a blimp. 99 problems, but Alex Stein's never been one. I like how when you lit that up, it almost burnt your brick wall down. What about if we saw We're like, Layla, stop playing with so much fire right now.
Dang, that's cool.
Too dangerous karmically.
Yeah.
It's Aries season, Aries fire. That girl couldn't handle the heat.
They say that a lot of our eyes, the color of your eyes, are attached to like elements, like blue-eyed people are attached to water. Hazel are attached to earth, like the green. The black or brown are attached to fire. So it's like, the avatar of it all, the fire people, the water, airbenders. So it's like the color of our eyes all group us into like what our element is in a sense.
We're earthbenders, Cheney.
I don't know, because Hazel isn't green.
But this isn't it like the mixture like of in between? Like
Hazel
the brown.
isn't green.
I always thought it was, but really it's like a light brown with like gold flecks, right? Like that's the true
sometimes
hazel.
it's even gray.
My mom always told me my eyes were hazel, but they're just green. So
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
just seems like brown because then look at how much element there would be that represents that element. And then it's
Mhm.
but where the sea, there should be a lot more blue-eyed people that represent that element, unless it's the balancing of the earth to sea. So they want to put a
Maybe.
whole bunch of like more earth
It's just a
elemental people.
theory.
No, I
Yeah.
don't hate it because I do think there
Yeah.
is something with eye color. I
Yeah.
sometimes theorize that it's time of day. Like certain time of the day, like certain people could do good things. Like I wonder if brown-eyed people sometimes could stare into fire, like if they were fire watchers. And mostly brown-eyed people would tend to stay away from the ocean, where I would gather more blue-eyed people would be a lot of swimmers.
Mm.
Like it just seems like that cave dwelling thing, I wonder sometimes. Like, what if a lot of people didn't delve into caves? But what about if like green-eyed people looked into darkness?
Mm.
I don't know.
I wonder. It's
But
a very interesting theory. Like, oh, that could mean something. Is it true? I don't know.
like polarities.
Yeah.
Activate your DNA. Maybe you'll find out.
Because I feel like the Avatar tells us some truth about something. And I feel like, it ties with the Hopi prophecy and the different tribes of Earth and the different colors. So I don't
What
know.
about if we're shapeshifters? Like, what if something happens this eclipse and we change form for a period of time?
Is that why
Like,
they're
what if you
pushing
look
that?
in the mirror for the period of time and it's not what you see? That is a weird thought. Like, I wish I could give credit to who said it, but somebody said that's some Freaky Friday shit that's gonna happen. And it made me think of every single movie I grew up on where it was like we'd stare at each other and I'd be your kid and I'd be like, Layla, I wish I was you. And you'd like, you don't even understand the responsibilities I have. I wish I was you. And then we switch each other and then oh my gosh, I have a cheerleading meet. And you're like, I have a big meeting and we have to do the thing for each other. And I don't know how to dress like you or act like you. And boy, it's like a whole weird, what if some Freaky Friday shit happens where like, even it doesn't even matter if it's a person in the realm. All of a sudden it's like, this is how they're like the great reset and this is when it happens and no one remembers who they are. And we all walk into another reality. Boom.
Isn't that
But
what
we
they're pushing?
but we have a memory of it this time. And so
Like,
all of a sudden, you're like, who knows? You could look like Chewbacca. You could look like, Abby. It
yeah.
could be anywhere in between. Like, what if it's not
The
your
news
face?
is pushing that. Like, people turning into demons and saying like, oh, like there's a sickness or a disease going around where people are seeing other people as demons or shape shifting and whatnot. But what if this is a real thing that's fucking happening and they're trying to label it as like a mental disorder, and that's what's actually going to happen, which ties to the jibbity jab and maybe activates something within people and they will actually start shifting.
What if it is like how they say on different planets our gravity's not the same? Like, and, or like our space, like in Interstellar, they say we take out a whole much more space. Or like, what if like particles, like at like a different, we're getting into a different speed or a different pool or a different density phase where their particles are pulling apart. And so they're getting demon faced. They're not able to handle themselves. That's what all the chemtrails are somehow trying to control the reality. And there's nothing they can do about their faces starting to turn into demon faces. And that's why we were all supposed to be locked in our houses.
I think it's something like that. I feel like the chemtrails totally factor in.
The chemtrails got to factor in.
To hide, they're hiding something. It's masking something.
I won't let them gaslight me into making me think that it was in our youth. Chemtrails.
Well, the
Oh my gosh,
chemtrails,
my stomach is growling.
you did mention how they do write sigils, and there's this content creator who actually tunes, I forgot what website he uses, but he tunes into the different frequencies that are played in the ether, and one of them is the harp frequencies that he tunes in. and all the frequency that comes out of the harp frequency are like different types of sigils and images, and like it goes on and on and on and on, and all you see are these very intricate sigils throughout the frequency, and he's just picking it up and recording, and it's like a strip just of messages, and I'm just like, what the fuck are like frequency sigils played upon humanity through harp that connects with fucking the chemtrails and the sigils that they write on top of us. It's all...
Can I get nerdy for a second?
Do it.
Okay, harp. How many strings are in a harp? 47. And so then when you go all back into the Pythagorean theorem, the Euclid proposition of Euclid, the 47th proposition of Euclid, there is these like 3 squares that he uses in trying to explain this, and I always just pay attention to the 3 squares. But while I was watching, somebody put up a map of the Eclipse X, but they had one of the other eclipses they were showing like all these maps, and they were like, look at this triangle that it makes, and they were attaching it to different star systems or different pyramid systems or different, and I was like, oh, it's the triangle from the proposition of Euclid. And it's like a way that you can see it. And so it's just interesting because you're like, oh, harp messing with our frequencies, like every single one of our chakras or our senses are all attached to these different frequencies. And then if you are likely to take, like, let's say our heart chakra is too strong. Like, let's say us as humans, like they got to fuck with our heart chakra. So let's say they have a series of vaccines. And so look at people that got this vaccine, clots. That's all heart chakra shit. People say like the Maui fire, heart chakra shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and then like this kid actually that a customer of mine, he's like probably 14 years old, thyroid cancer. And I asked, I was like, did you happen to vaccinate your child? Yeah, we had to protect our entire family. And I'm like, oh, that's what it is. So it's like the different frequencies hitting different parts of your chakra system that fucks with you. Some are the thyroid, some are the fucking heart, some are, I don't know, the stomach, the intestine. It's like all targeted in a sense. Like each batch, each lot number.
I feel like each chakra is affiliated with a mass, like with a gland. So that'd be like, pretty much they all are, because I want to say it's like hypothalamus, whatever, for the heart, like solar plexus, I don't know, pancreas, something. They're all affiliated with certain things that regulate hormones.
Do you think hippos are so deadly because they're so fucking cute? Like, do you think like before they had to develop their like deadliness because people were like, I have to pinch your fucking cheeks. Like, I'm gonna kiss you on your little baby, hippo face. Like,
I literally got a video of a hippo pooping, and it was the cutest thing ever.
You know what I think is the cutest? A hippo swimming. I could watch hippos swim.
It was in the water,
like, how graceful.
Swimming and pooping, and I just thought it was the cutest thing.
The scariest thing ever? People on a boat going full speed down the Nile with a hippo after them. Hippos can swim, dog.
Oh, shit.
You're like, how is this hippo swimming so fast? It is
I'm gonna dream about this tonight. I know it.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. If you had a swimming hippo as your, like, if you breathe underwater instead of worried about flying, and you had a swimming hippo that you saddled, you'd be invincible. I feel like your swimming hippo could take down a dolphin. Probably a great white too, because a thick skin. What?
Who's this multimillionaire who had maybe like an extinct huge snake or serpent that was friends with Donald Trump, and they raided his house? It's like the biggest snake or biggest serpent ever, and he had it chained up and locked up in his premise.
What?
Yeah. Hold
Look
on.
it up. This is such a fun story.
Let me get his name. I have it on my phone.
Serpent FBI raid. Fresh twist on serpent serial killer. Nope, that's not the news article. Cyber
I have it in my
espionage
phone.
operation. I'll put in FBI raid world's biggest snake instead of serpent. Like, come on, how many things?
Yeah,
I'll
it's the
narrow it
largest
down.
snake that was extinct
Okay.
for a very long time. Is a billionaire. Hold on.
Director Ray's remarks at the Munich Security Conference.
It's very hush hush, the story.
Okay, I'm trying to find it on Google. I'll go back to
hold on.
none.
Once I
Interesting.
find it, I'll share it with you guys, okay? But continue.
I sometimes daydream like if we were an elite killing squad, we would have names like the Black Mamba and, like the same as Kill Bill. Whatever
Yeah. Oh, I love
snake,
Kill Bill.
whatever the snake's name is, that's Layla's killing name. That's the game we're playing right now. Whatever name she pulls up, you guys, is her killing name. This is my slumber
like that.
party. It's her assassin name. Whatever name is the name of the snake of the billionaire. And that's her BDE. If I had a snake, I'd name it Michael Obama. They'd be like, why is it called Big Mike? And I'd be like, you know why. All right, you guys. If Layla's not going to find the snake. Diddy
I'll
and
just share it
Bridges.
for next story. I'll just save it for next Friday coming up.
Diddy and Bridges and
Oh, I'm not doing-
Friday. And
Perfect.
you guys keep your head on a swivel out there. If you guys are looking if you're looking to get fit for the real New Year, if you have a real New Year's resolution and you need help, you can hit up
You want a
Abby.
summer bod?
Yeah. If you want a body in time for summer, now's a good time. You think, I've had 5 kids. I could never get this old sheet in shape. This old piece of shit. Yes, you can. Like, there's no excuses and you can do it. But plus, a lot of people out there, it's more than just your physical. You might need a little bit of mental, a little chit chat. You can hit up Abby. She'll be doing life coach and personal training. And you guys are hearing about that first on the Secret Society of Good Guys. And she'll be doing it virtually as well as in person. And I'm big upping her right now, but there'll be more to come. So you should get in before her schedule is too busy. I mean, you can add anything to that if you want to.
I'm just gonna thank you for shouting me out. I appreciate it because yes, I want to help people because I needed help at one point, and you can change anything about your physical body. It does start here, so
I found it. Kelsey Warren.
all right.
Okay, let me just play this clip for you guys, okay?
What's the name of the snake, though?
It's called the Titanoboa. Titanoboa. Okay.
That's appropriate.
Let me just play this clip for you guys so you can get like an idea. Put this volume up.
This billionaire just got caught hiding the last Titanoboa. This is the Titanoboa, the most deadly snake to ever live. It is said to be up to 50 feet long and can crush its prey with ease. This creature was said to be extinct. However, that was until rumors started to spread that a famous billionaire named Kelsey Warren could be hiding the last Titanoboa. This started when Kelsey posted a tweet of himself, however. When people looked closer, they could see a huge snake in the picture. This led people to wonder that maybe he was hiding the last Titanoboa, but no one was sure until the FBI got a warrant to search his house for the endangerment and secrecy of a previously believed to be extinct species. Kelsey was very upset about this and claimed it was an invasion of privacy, and when the FBI guys came to his door, he was very hesitant to let them in. However, he reluctantly let them in. Kelsey's house was absolutely huge and was located on the border of a tropical rainforest. The men began looking around. However, they couldn't find anything suspicious. It took multiple hours, but they had finally searched out everything, and everything looked valid. However, then, as they were about to head out, they saw a small door in the corner with a rusty old sign on it. They quickly walked over and opened the door, and what they saw next, they'll never forget. There was a 50-foot snake chained down in a cage, and it was struggling to move. One of the agents quickly took out a camera and snapped video proof before leaving with the evidence. If you want to see it, look up.
So it's alleged, okay? And he's a friend of Donald Trump. And having a huge serpent like that, it's just, what was going on here? What's going on? And guys,
Huh.
they had taken the serpent and made it so demonic, so unfairly, when that symbol has been always known for protection, always a sign and symbol for protection. What they did with that symbol afterwards is like they tried to transmute it and turn it into something evil and to stay away from. But that's the whole loosh of it all. It's a loosh. It's literally a sign of fucking protection.
Didn't Isis have one up her arm?
Yeah, she had one on her arm, and that's like they would have bracelets, right? When they went to the school of Isis or whatever, to learn to raise the Kundalini, they would get a snake bracelet.
Isn't it also called an Ankh?
The Ankh? I don't know if the
Oh
Ankh
wait,
is the
no,
same.
wait, asp.
Oh, asp.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So
And
Layla, your
Bola.
assassin name is Titanoboa.
Titanoboa.
Boa,
That's what you should get
Bola.
tattooed up your leg.
I'm gonna stick
You
with
should get
Besa.
Besa tattooed on your knuckles.
Oh, and make the S a snake.
Oh, that's good.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I already found a placement right here. I'm gonna put it right here.
Oh, I like it.
Besa.
I want flowers right there and a mockingbird on my clavicle.
I told my boss I'm gonna get a tattoo. He's like, "What did I say 1,000,000 times to you? You never put a bumper sticker on a Lamborghini." I'm like, "I love you, chef, but I want a fucking tattoo." Okay, I've wanted one for so long, but this one I think I will do. This one I will do with you, ladies, of course.
That'd be
Maybe,
awesome.
yeah, that would be a fun thing at the meetup is to have a tattoo artist there.
Yeah,
Like have one in the room, like a good, where people could just rotate and maybe there'd be somebody doing, tattoos for the event and then somebody else doing good tattoos. That would be just something different. Maybe a sidebar of this tattoo of your Besa tattoo.
Besa.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. And
Love you
thank you
guys.
guys for hanging out. Happy real New Year. And we're gonna get our shit together, get a little more organized, go back over to our restream. I think this might be our last show over here. Yeah, restream's better for us. I know it's not as popular. I know there's some shortcomings of it, but overall, I like the fade in and outs. I like being able to pull things across while we're still on, like overlay stuff on the screen. I want to talk over videos. I did like the way that video pulled up and we could talk over it though.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm like, I figured out how to do that. I don't need to pull it up on the screen. So anyways, technical, figuring it out. We love you guys so much. You're the best in the world. And we will see you
Chris,
Friday.
Riggs, all you guys. PK, love you guys. Mickey,
Happy Easter.
love you guys.
All right.
Toodles.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we save it?
Used to think we knew, constantly explore the view of possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, mega mystics, entertaining, calling linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society. Advent on philosophies, intentionally, magically good guys.